Let me start with our external environment. We are embarking on our next phase of nation building under very trying circumstances. I've been busy with several overseas work trips these past few months. In fact, I just got back from APEC in Peru and G20 in Brazil a few days ago, still trying to adjust to Singapore's time zone. I've had good discussions with many counterparts in these meetings. Everyone is worried because we are in a far more dangerous world today. There are major wars raging in Europe and the Middle East. US and China relations are in a more challenging place. And there are many moving pieces geopolitically where things can easily go wrong. For decades, countries everywhere, all of us have benefited from an American-led global order. We say this is Pax Americana in Latin. It means a world with America as the dominant power, supported by multilateral institutions like the United Nations, the IMF, the World Bank, the International Court of Justice, and so on, shaping international norms and behaviors. Now, the situation is changing. America is still preeminent, but it no longer wants to be the world's policeman. Former President Donald Trump has just been re-elected to office on the basis of America First. His mandate reflects the growing sentiment amongst the American public that they are paying too high a price to uphold this global order. Too high a price and yet not enjoying the commensurate benefits. Meanwhile, there are other rising powers like China and India, but they too are focused on their own domestic issues, and they are not yet in a position to take on larger global responsibilities. And so the world is in flux. The established norms are fading, but a new order is not yet in place. And amidst this vacuum of global leadership, we can expect more conflict and instability in the world because state and non-state actors will be emboldened to test boundaries, often with little or no consequence. We already see this in Ukraine, where there has been an egregious breach of the United Nations Charter and territorial sovereignty, and also in the Middle East, where there has been a horrendous terrorist attack followed by a cataclysmic humanitarian tragedy. Ideally, the major powers of this world should come together, coordinate their positions, and work together for the larger good. Stop the conflicts, stop the wars, tackle shared challenges like climate change and nuclear proliferation. Otherwise, we can't look forward to a shared future. Unfortunately, there is deep suspicion and mistrust between America and China. Each regards the other as a strategic threat, and both are taking steps to enlarge their spheres of influence and to strengthen their own positions. So it will get harder to find common ground. We don't like to see the world moving in this direction, but these are the realities of the world we live in today. And the dynamics will be with us for some time. We're not talking about 1 or 2 years and then things will improve. I think we will have to grapple with this perhaps for the next decade or beyond. It means we will find it more difficult to make a living and keep ourselves safe. Other countries may test our limits, and we must be ready to stand firm and defend our interests. At the same time, we must redouble our efforts to make friends with everyone, big and small, near and far. Above all, we must remain united as one united people. Singaporeans are bound to have different views on global developments, whether it be the actions of America or China, or the wars in Europe or the Middle East. but we cannot let our differences pull us apart. It is already tough to be a small country for our voice to be heard. It will be even tougher if our voice is diffused and incoherent. At the end of the day, we must consider the larger national interest and take a united position. Then we can speak with one voice on the world stage, and we will be valued as a safe and secure, a stable and reliable nation, even in a troubled and uncertain world. Fortunately, Singapore's reputation and international standing is high. We participate actively in international forums, and people want to hear us. I mentioned APEC and G20 just now. We were one of the 12 founding members of APEC. We have been invited to attend almost all G20 meetings, although we are far from being one of the 20 largest economies of the world. What makes Singapore so exceptional? It's because when we speak, others know that it is a Singaporean point of view, coherently articulated by the government and supported by Singaporeans. They know we mean business and we do not waver. So without Singaporeans steadfastly supporting the government, we will not be able to navigate this new turbulent world. We will not be able to withstand hostile foreign influence operations that have divided and undermined other societies. That's why I do not take the trust and support of Singaporeans lightly. My team and I will work hard to earn your trust and to be a steadfast voice for Singapore and Singaporeans on the world stage.